Welcome to week two. This is your lab video, and today we'll be talking about how to make changes or make elements and attributes to your web page. I hope you guys have had an eventful week in the most positive manner possible, and now it is time to start coding. So we're gonna go ahead and run down to our l- syllabus really quick. And remember, folks, reminder this week, week two, we're going to read chapter 8 and chapter 9. So we're going to try to stay in the bounds of continuing to code in HTML. So your quiz is going to be based on these two chapters, as the week one was chapter 1 and 2. And so now we're going to skip on to 8 and 9 to stay within the bounds of continuing to code in HTML. So within week two, we're gonna find within week two we're gonna find um, our quiz and all our information here for the upcoming week two assignments and whatnot. So I clearly wrote here that we're gonna be having the lab assignment due on the 8th. And so we're going to go ahead and continue. So right off the bat, once again, I'd like to stress that hopefully by now you have created your accounts on Infinity Free or any other web hosting site you might already have in place, which is perfectly fine. But I have found that this is free. So that's where uh, my recommendation lies within Infinity Free. But if you are just creating your account for the first time, folks, remember that it may take up to 72 hours for you guys to receive what's called an IP address, which is your website IP and your label. So if we take this here, which is your DNS label, we're going to copy it and we're going to set it into our lab. Okay, so we got Professor Tijerina at etc. 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 So this is my sample web page of the changes that I've done for the second week, week two. So this is a rough page, but what I want everybody to capture is the basic HTML codes mentioned in your book, and we're going to applying them to an actual web page. So what you see here is a direct result of our coding in doing its magic. So we're going to go back and we're going to try to manipulate that information or insert that information into the HTML doc. So we see right off the bat we're using our editor, HTML editor. Remember, we're using Coffee Cup or any other editor. Notepad++ can also work. If you have any others out there that are super suitable for you and you've already done your research, then may do so as long as it produces the same outcome. I'm perfectly fine with it. So here for demonstration purposes, we're going to go ahead and we will open up a new document. This is HTML. I'm sorry, index.html, which is typically your home page. Now, later on down the road, I would ask you guys to start personalizing these home pages simply because it'll be easier for you to know what information is within those pages. What I mean by that is typically your index page on a workspace environment, it would be your home page. So this will be labeled home. If you have a shopping cart or you're creating a store online, then you would want to have a page that stores your inventory. So etc. An inventory here where you display your inventory. Another one for shopping cart. Another one for a form that you want to have people sign, whatnot. So when you ever think about it, when you traverse through Backboard and you're going from one, where you click a button and it takes you to a completely different page, those are all pages. These are all separate pages that developers have to create in order for you to access that information. So once again, how do you create a new page? Here we have a new HTML page. Remember, folks, we're going to be using purely HTML. So for demonstration purposes, we created a new file, and I have some sample code I wish to share in order for you guys to get the idea of what I'm expecting. So now that are completely we've made a completely new document. I've labeled it Index 2. So within the page itself, then we start adding our attributes or our elements into the page. See, we have an open head tag, and we have a closing header tag, and we have some information already displayed here. So we go down the list, and this should be noted in the book. So I ask you guys to take the time, read the book. If you still have questions regarding it, we do have other sources, and my biggest proponent is W3 Schools, which displays anything and everything HTML under the HTML tab. So you have any questions, concerns, how to create these HTML tags, this will give you a pretty good idea on how to start. So what does it look like in the front end? So we talked about editing the page. Now remember, folks, we have to go within our file manager, and the account will take us to a page very similar, if not exactly like this. So on your home page of your FTP or your file manager, you will be inserting any and all documents pertaining to your web page. So we click on htdocs, and here we have the HTML index 1 that I have my first page, is which I'm going to be, this is very similar to the assignment that I'm requesting. And we have the second page. We have the second page, images, I'm sorry, index.2, which displays the second page. If I failed to mention how to reach the second page, any additional page is going to be followed by a forward slash, and then the name of the page. Okay, so we see our heading tags, etc. These are all samples of how to implement those tags and attributes to your web page. So we're going back to our document, HTML, I'm sorry, index.2 HTML, and that directly should reflect what I see on the front end. Right. Another cool trick, or that is very useful, is something called the inspect feature on your web browser, whether it be Google, whether it be Microsoft, or Edge, or Firefox. All these have a special feature called inspect, and it allows you to virtually see the coding behind it in real time. For instance, all the tags that I mentioned here, when we created a header tag with an open tag, I highlight here, and it shows me specifically what it should be displaying on the front end. So here we go. I'm highlighting each and every line of code, and what it's doing is showing me exactly where it is on the front end. So this is a very nifty tool. I encourage you guys to play with this here on other pages. You will see that there's a lot of coding behind um, other pages with CSS reference pages and JavaScripts embedded into the inspect sheets. But this is a very good tool in case you want to see how a web page is created. And as you can see here, it coding in HTML directly reflects your your back end with the front end. So once again, reiterate, your first page is your home page. You do not need to put index.1 because it is your domain. But any additional pages, you must insert that forward slash in order to view it. Any additional page. What I do want you guys to submit is your document, this HTML document, whatever you saved, uploaded by through Blackboard in the submission box in the assignment module. Also, insert or add the URL, which I'm what I'm supposed to be looking at. In this case, is Professor Tijerina.great for site.net. I want to see this URL so I can see it live on the front end. I want to see the index page so I can inspect it or show that you created the work. I also should be able to view it here and compare to my master, and that way I can come up with grades a little bit faster. Another thing is okay. Another thing is be creative, folks. I did leave some room for you guys to use a little bit of creativity. I've asked you in the assignment to add a image. Please refer to the book, and please pay also close attention to the additional resource that we have to add, just so that we can display a picture in your code. And this falls within your FTP in htdocs. Please create a new file. You can name this anything you want, but remember, folks, it has to reflect in your code in your HTML exactly word for word. If it's capitalized, it's not going to do any good. So, please find a name or a naming convention that suits the URL, and be able to insert that into the address bar. So, the reason for that is because if you're inserting an image in your HTML doc, it needs to see or needs to have a place to grab the image from. So I have my image within the images folder, and in my code, I will explicitly tell HTML exactly where to get it. And I'm going to show you the exact code for that. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to have to go into my HTML and edit it. Okay. Please pay close attention. In order for you to pull up your image, you must add where you want to pull the source from. Very specific. I am adding a forward slash. I am adding my folder name because it's nested or reposited within a second folder. And then I have to add the name of the file explicitly. So this is the correct way to reference an image into your HTML code. And the reason I'm giving away this answer is because I do want to see everyone successfully insert a picture into your assignment. Once again, it should be common knowledge in the computer science world. And so here I directly see the picture that I have. This image is called image, and it's nested exactly where I want it to show in my front end. Well, hopefully this has been useful. Once again, please don't forget to, if you have any questions or issues regarding software and hardware, please refer them to the lab specialists at STC. If any other issues um, regarding the quiz, I've been good replying to emails and messages very promptly. I do encourage you guys to reach out in case there is something that needs my attention. And so I've been some people can attest to that. I've been very good in replying to your messages and emails very promptly. So I encourage you guys to continue reading, and of course, if there's anything that I need to step in, of course, feel free to contact me. And that was it. Don't forget to complete your quiz. And this is just basic terminology. Once again, I refer to terminology as in your tags, as in the elements and attributes. I believe these quizzes are mostly comprehensive, meaning if you read the book and if you are aware of the terms, meaning tags, and you should be able to complete the quiz with no hiccups. Once again, my what I am aiming for is comprehension, and the way to do that, I believe, is through, of course, going through the book, reciting those terms or reciting those tags, and actually using them in your assignments, and getting in the hang of repeatedly using those to actively um, actively complete your web page or the assignment. Lastly, I'd like to congratulate the participants. I have learned a lot from you guys, and I hope you guys continue to share information with myself and each other. Please encourage yourselves as well. I like to see names and I like to see faces, and I really enjoyed hearing your aspirations and what you expect out of this class, and I hope to do my best to share my knowledge with you all, and of course also be mindful of each other, and of course you'll be in the same block for the remaining of the program, and if you continue computer science. So get to know each other, like perhaps you see each other down the road working on a group project and whatnot. You'll remember yourselves from here. Once again, lastly, the lab will be found in week 2, and your and here assignment. And once again, thank you guys for joining us, and I hope you enjoy your evening.